Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try to keep up with the pace of the modern world, something inside of you disagrees? As if you're constantly at odds with the rush, the superficiality, and the immediacy that society insists on as the norm. Many of us, at some point, feel a kind of disconnection, a sense of distance from everything deemed normal or desirable. And for some, this feeling goes even deeper, as if they're confined to a space that no longer makes sense. If this sounds familiar, you might just be one of those we call old souls. Old souls are like time travelers, carrying a wisdom that seems to have traversed generations, cultures, and even dimensions. They have a profound worldview, an acute perception of life, and an intense desire to connect with something authentic and enduring. Yet, in a world that often prioritizes the shallow, these souls frequently feel out of place, as if trying to fit an ancient puzzle piece into a new, fast-paced frame. In this search for meaning and belonging, they often feel nostalgic for something they may not even be able to describe. But there is hope for those with this feeling. The awakening of an old soul is, above all, a journey of discovery and acceptance. Instead of fighting against this difference, the idea is to embrace this essence, reclaiming a more authentic path that aligns with who we truly are. Throughout this video, we'll explore how this journey of self-discovery can transform the sense of dislocation into an experience of purpose and inner peace. So get ready to recognize and honor your old soul, discover practical tools to maintain balance, and above all, reconnect with what truly matters. So who are these old souls who seem to see the world through different eyes? Contrary to what the term may suggest, it's not just about age or lifespan. Being an old soul is something much deeper, tied to a wisdom that transcends any timeline. These individuals carry an innate understanding of life, a worldview that goes beyond everyday conventions and directly touches on the essential questions of existence. Old souls tend to value depth and authenticity. To them, life isn't just a series of events to be completed or goals to be reached. It's a complex, intricate journey, full of meanings and moments meant to be felt, not just seen. They often prefer profound and meaningful conversations over superficial interactions. They wonder about the nature of reality, the purpose of life, and the value of the experiences they accumulate. This relentless search for depth, coupled with a sense of connection to something greater, makes old souls feel as though they're living on a different plane, as if there's an additional layer to the human experience that only they can see. To make this concept more tangible, think of a person who, from a young age, was already interested in philosophical questions, spiritual reflections, and intrigued by the mysteries of the universe. They are often the ones who, even in a group of friends, maintain a certain reserve, as if viewing the world from the outside, with a critical and questioning perspective. Instead of going with the flow, they prefer to reflect and analyze before making any decision. They carry a kind of weight, a light burden of wisdom that allows them to see beyond the surface. For this reason, old souls are not easily satisfied with what is shallow or fleeting. They seek purpose, a purpose that honors this inner wisdom, and are willing to embark on a journey of self-discovery to find what truly makes sense. Living as an old soul, in a world that seems to value the immediate and the superficial, can be a constant challenge. The demands of modern society revolve around short deadlines, aggressive goals, and a constant sense of urgency. Old souls, by nature, feel uncomfortable with this pressure and pace. They search for meaning and purpose in everything they do, And this search often clashes with the here and now culture that permeates contemporary life. For these souls, work, relationships, and even hobbies must offer a genuine sense of connection. However, the modern world often responds with superficiality. The desire to achieve something lasting and meaningful clashes with a reality that values what is fast, trendy, and generates fleeting satisfaction. This is why many old souls find themselves frustrated in corporate environments where the focus is on profit rather than impact. This disconnect with the surrounding environment can create a sense of isolation, as if they're in a world that never truly stops to feel or reflect. Additionally, the constant exposure to social media and comparisons intensifies this feeling of dislocation. The online world tends to emphasize accomplishments and appearances, creating a quiet pressure to fit into standards that often make no sense to an old soul. The people around them seem focused on curating lives they want to showcase, while the old soul longs for authenticity and depth. This clash of values often leads these people to question their place in the world, feeling out of place, and even demotivated in some aspects. They know there is something greater to be lived, a purpose to be discovered, and this quiet certainty within them generates frustration from not finding this space in the world around them. This search for something greater then becomes the first step on an internal journey, one that seeks to reconnect the old soul with its true essence. This feeling of not belonging, of disconnection, can be the starting point for something much deeper, a spiritual awakening. For an old soul, the discomfort with the superficiality of the modern world is not just a phase or a passing feeling. It arises as an alert, an internal call that begins to manifest in various subtle ways, pointing to the need for something more true and meaningful. Among the first signs of this disconnection are dissatisfaction with routine and an aversion to shallow interactions. What once seemed bearable, like casual conversations without depth, now begins to feel empty and even exhausting. Another sign is emotional fatigue, a kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from the body, but from the soul. It's as if the spirit itself is asking for a pause, a breath to reconnect with what truly matters. The call to awaken is often accompanied by an intense desire to seek answers. Old souls begin to feel drawn to spiritual themes, the idea of purpose, and the concept of a fulfilling life. They start to question who they are, their true place, and what they came to accomplish in this existence. This process can be intense and even solitary, as it's not always easy to share these doubts with those around them. But it's precisely at this point that the journey of self-discovery begins. Awakening isn't just a moment, it's a path, a conscious choice to reconnect with one's essence. And for old souls, this choice means embracing the mission to live authentically, accepting that although they are in a fast-paced world, they can find peace and meaning by following their own truth. As the old soul begins to awaken to its true essence, there also arises the need to find practices that help maintain balance amid the chaos of the modern world. The good news is that there are various spiritual tools to strengthen this inner connection and, at the same time, develop resilience. These practices, besides being deep, are practical and accessible, allowing each old soul to find what resonates best with their path. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools for calming the mind and connecting with inner wisdom. The practice of meditation helps cultivate a state of presence, allowing one to observe life with more clarity and less reactivity. For an old soul, meditation is a safe space where they can reconnect with their essence and the tranquility they so desire. Taking a few minutes a day to breathe consciously and observe one's own thoughts can be a transformative practice. Another valuable practice is routine grounding, which involves activities that bring a person back to the present moment and their body. Walking barefoot in nature, for example, is a form of grounding that allows old souls to connect with the Earth's energy, relieving stress and promoting a feeling of belonging to the physical world. Journaling, or writing in a diary, is another recommended tool. Writing is a way to release feelings and process daily experiences. For an old soul, journaling provides a safe space to organize thoughts and reflect on deeper issues, as well as observe personal growth over time. Often, the most valuable insights come when putting on paper what is hidden in the deepest layers of the self. Finally, there's also the power of fun visualization and the practice of the gratitude. Visualizing what one desires for oneself, such as a life of peace and purpose, helps align thoughts and intentions. The practice of gratitude, on the other hand, reminds us of the blessings we already have, bringing a new perspective even on the most challenging days. By being grateful for the little things, the old soul learns to appreciate the present and finds a solid foundation to continue their journey. These tools, when practiced consistently, help old souls navigate life with more serenity. They don't eliminate challenges, but allow each obstacle to be faced with more clarity and purpose, strengthening the essence and gradually restoring balance. For an old soul, self-knowledge isn't just a curiosity, it's a necessity, a call that arises from within to explore and understand oneself deeply. This journey of self-discovery is essential to find true purpose, something that goes far beyond the superficial goals society usually imposes. It's a quest for meaning, for that which resonates with the essence and can truly bring a sense of fulfillment. This journey of self-knowledge leads to a clearer understanding of who we are and what really matters. It starts with small questions that deepen over time, like a kind of internal excavation. Questions like, who am I really? And what brings me peace and fulfillment are just the beginning. As the old soul delves into this search, they start to see patterns and values that have always been present, but perhaps had never been named or valued. During this journey, it's common to seek inspiration in sources that encourage self-development. Philosophical and spiritual readings, for instance, provide a solid foundation for deeper reflections, while alternative therapies and self-care practices help to develop a practical and tangible understanding. An old soul, at this point, starts distinguishing between what is external, expectations, demands, and societal standards, and what is truly internal and aligned with their unique purpose. Another aspect of this quest for purpose involves identifying, core values that guide choices and actions. For example, an old soul may value compassion, truth, and deep connection as primary guides, and these directions help build a life with more meaning. When purpose is discovered and embraced, every decision and action begins to reflect the genuine essence within. And thus, the old soul discovers that true purpose is not a destination, but a continuous journey of alignment with oneself. It's this search and commitment to inner truth that makes life richer and fuller, transforming the path into an authentic expression of who they truly are. Throughout this journey, something begins to change in a subtle but powerful way. Living aligned with one's essence for an old soul is like finally breathing fresh air after years of trying to fit into a suffocating environment. From the moment purpose is recognized and honored, each aspect of life takes on new, deeper meaning. This alignment brings a quiet peace that goes beyond mere well-being. It's a sense of belonging that transcends external pressures. An old soul, living according to its essence, no longer feels the need to seek external validation or fit into molds that don't make sense to them. Instead, they start carving their own path, moved by the confidence that they are exactly where they're meant to be. Additionally, this transformation is reflected in relationships, work, and daily choices. The old soul begins to choose experiences and connections that resonate with their purpose, leaving behind what is superficial. This alignment process doesn't mean a life without challenges, but a life where each challenge is faced with more clarity, because there is a sense of direction. It's in this harmony with their essence that the old soul finds true peace and the freedom to be who they are without compromise. To illustrate this transformation, imagine someone who, after years of feeling lost and purposeless, decides to listen to their own inner calling. Perhaps they left a job that no longer brought meaning or changed their lifestyle to something simpler and more aligned with what truly matters. These small stories show the power of living according to one's essence, even in a world that seems to encourage the opposite. These stories reveal that the path to inner peace and fulfillment begins with the simple act of honoring one's truth. Think of someone who, after years of trying to fill a void with material achievements, finds satisfaction in self-knowledge practices and deep connections. It's these subtle changes that gradually transform life into something more authentic and meaningful. These examples show that each old soul has a unique path to follow, and that spiritual awakening is a personal journey full of possibilities. Even though the modern world doesn't provide all the resources needed for this type of transformation, it's possible to create a safe and true space where each person can flourish in their authenticity and live a full life. We have reached the end of this journey, but the true path for your old soul is just beginning. Throughout this video, we explored what it means to be an old soul, the challenges and the practices that can help maintain balance in a world that doesn't always value depth. Now, the invitation is to embrace this essence and start living in accordance with it. Remember, honoring your old soul is a choice, and with it comes peace, purpose, and the freedom to be exactly who you are. This alignment isn't something that happens all at once, but a daily practice, a series of small choices that bring you closer to your truth. If you identified with this message, consider starting with one of the practices we discussed here and explore other tools that resonate with you. And if you feel this message could help someone else who also feels disconnected, share it. After all, each old soul that awakens creates a positive impact on the world, inspiring others to do the same. Let's follow this path of self-discovery and purpose together.